We're here at ACONCAGUA. You can see it right there in the background. That is almost 23,000 feet up in the air. We're going to the top in a few days. We're hiking for heroes, and I have here with our team, myself, including Amanda over here, our Director of Marketing, Victoria, Director of Project Management, and Jeremy, who is our franchise coach. And we're about to do this thing. Y'all ready?
Let's get it, let's go.
Let's go, bro.
We have started our initial hike to Camp Fluenza. That's the first camp we're going to. We're increasing about 3,000 feet in elevation on this initial hike. It's a little windy, a little cold, but the team's really strong so far, so we got to keep the momentum going.
Just made it to Camp 1, Confluencia. The team is going strong. We ascended 3,000 feet today. We actually just made it to Confluencia on time. The snow's coming in. So we're gonna rest up, eat some dinner, and get ready for day 2.
Stay tuned.
All right, here we are, day 2. We got an 8-hour hike ahead of us.
All right, we're halfway to base camp. We got 4 more hours to go. Once we get there, then we're gonna acclimatize.
That's right.
Acclimatize for a few days. And then we get it right, and then we'll have that push to the summit.
Let's go.
All right, let's get it. Let's go, y'all. Acclimatization is, your body's ability to adapt to the environment. In this case, it's a mountain.
How y'all feeling, team?
Oh man, doing that home stretch base
Tired.
camp.
Hungry.
Feeling good.
Thirsty.
2 hours left.
Going up, so you're dealing with changes in atmospheric pressures, mainly oxygen. Home sweet home, baby. The higher you go up, the more difficult it is.
Just arrived at base camp, which we're going to be acclimating and resting here for the next couple of days for the next ascent for the summit push. Halfway to Camp 1, Camp Canada. Time to fuel up and get ready for that final push.
The team's feeling strong, so time to go fuel up. See where we're sleeping for the night. Let's go.
So at this point, we can't communicate with anybody inside of our tent. Wind's blowing like crazy outside. Not sure where we go from at this point. Waiting for a guide to somehow, I guess, be able to leave their tent to walk over and give us some information.
We didn't get any sleep last night. The tent was shaking extremely bad. It had to be negative 10 degrees with 75 miles per hour wind the entire night. I think you can hear some of it right now. So I guess the rest of the trip we're running off of pure adrenaline. It is currently snowing at Camp 2, Camp Nido.
It took us about 4 hours. We ascended about 2,000 feet and sort of straight up in the snow with these clamp-ons.
Bien, vos. No, don't look well.
Continuously get delayed was very disheartening and very frustrating.
I have never in my life experienced something like this. But we have to push through. We have to get to the top. It is 7:30, and this is the second medevac this morning here at Camp Nido.
document that this adventure definitely took a turn, an unexpected turn for the worst. I had to make the decision to stop my ascent from going up. Symptoms of altitude sickness are the worst thing I've ever felt in my entire life. The headaches are the worst part. Pressure headaches on my eyeballs, blinding, nausea, can't even see in front of me.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.
The higher up you get, the less oxygen there is, more taxing on the lungs and the heart.
It was very difficult. Each step was a grudge, right?
You had to zigzag up the mountain.
It took about 4 hours. That last 15 minutes was super freaking gnarly. Right before you get to that camp, there's this giant bunch of boulders and an L turn as these cables that are attached. You don't really know if they're attached well or not, but you grab it, right? You take the next step, and I'm like, oh my God, is this gonna be my last step? We're close to 20,000 feet. Finally get through this mess, and there it was. There was a high camp. When he stopped, he's like, guys, this is Rolo talking. We got a decision to make.
The lack of sleep and the exhaustion put us behind pace to safely summit.
They had people getting helivac down for frostbite left and right. So we all had to collectively make the decision to abort, and that's what we did.
So the cause that we hiked for is for Sacred Mountain Retreat Center, which is a 7-day program in the Black Hills of South Dakota. This 7-day retreat allows for veterans, first responders, and anyone with PTSD or trauma to be involved in different programs like equestrian training, leather making, different stuff like that, and just be together and come together as one. Being a United States Army veteran, this cause means the absolute world to me. I was blessed enough to spend a lot of time at the retreat center. I'm very close with Jared, who is the owner of Sacred Mountain Retreat Center. What he does for this program is incredible.
We knew going into it there were going to be a lot of factors that determined our success to summit. But one controllable factor that we had going for us is our physical fitness. And where we all trained to prep for this climb is at HOTWORX.
So I love to use my altitude deprivation mask, which limits the amount of oxygen while I'm working out.
So not only were we training for our physical ability to climb the mountain, but we were also training for the high altitudes and also the mental factor, being able to push through pain, being able to push through discomfort. And we can honestly all say that we were very, very physically prepared to make this climb because of HOTWORX.